Christ, it's been almost 10 years.
That's probably the way to go. I mean, it's really expensive buying fucking 2 pairs of underwear for like $30, like $15 for a pair of boxers. But man, they cuddle the balls so well. It's like I'm gonna have to fucking start saving money and buying more of these motherfucking things. Fucking great. Oh, and we're live where I get to talk about my ball snuggling underwear. Excellent. So, yes, chat and everyone here, I have returned to the Aldus Valor live show. This is Heisenberg with your host and commander, Aldus Valor. Take it away, boss.
The show, everyone. We're just talking about our underwear preferences while I'm closing out the window where I'm getting a double feedback of Hayes talking about his brand new comfortable underwear because I'm a fucking idiot and left it up and running like I always fucking do.
I did the same thing. I just didn't announce it out loud because I started hearing my own echo. And that's exactly what I want to hear. Myself talking about my fucking boxers.
But yeah, no, I mean, I figure anyone who's going to see my underwear isn't going to see them for very long at all anyway. So what's the fucking point in owning underwear? So I've been commando for like 9 years now, and I've never looked back.
Can't argue with the logic.
Yeah. So today's show is being brought to you by Jimmy Jam Joiner's Jimmy Joy Jizz Juicer, the only marital aid that can double as a blender. I'm your host, Aldus Valor. I'm being joined by Heisenberg, and what do we want to start with today?
And not Jeff Heisenberg. That guy's retarded.
No, he is retarded. Yes, that's not to be confused with Jeff Heisenberg because he's a Kool-Aid drinker. He likes the Kool-Aid. I'm looking at a poll. Let's see here. It's I have no idea how to fucking pronounce this college. Quinnipiac.
Okay.
Somebody in the chat will know and will call me an idiot for not knowing how to pronounce this school. Quinnipiac. Quinnipiac. Whatever. Quinnipiac University. We're looking at battleground states here. Specifically Florida, Ohio, and my state of Pennsylvania. And we're doing Clinton versus Trump. Florida is Clinton 47, Trump 39. Ohio is we'll do Pennsylvania first. Pennsylvania is Clinton 42, Trump 41, which is a statistical tie. And Ohio, Clinton 40, Trump 40, which is an actual tie. And so everything that other countries say about our election process in this country has been true up until this year, and they are way off the mark this year because it's a fucking reality show at this point. I mean, that's exactly what the Republican primary process was. It was like watching fucking Survivor.
Yeah, and Trump won with experience.
Yeah,
literally, you fucking hosted a goddamn reality show.
And that makes perfect sense. And there's lots of people, I'm seeing lots of people talking about how Trump's not going to accept the nomination. He's going to win the nomination and refuse it. And part of me wants to see that happen. And another part of me really likes threatening to vote for Trump.
I could see that. I mean, I can't. I'm sitting this election out. As I can't do it in good conscience. I'm done with lesser of two evils. But there's a part of me that with Trump, and this would be the only reason that I would want him in there. I mean, well, I think you may have said this in a tweet at one point too. It's like America's got to get worse before it gets better.
Yes.
It won't
get better until it hits rock bottom.
Right.
Is what I said. America is like, it has like an alcohol problem at this point. And we're not going to get better until we're like passed out in the street and completely fucking like obliterated every day of our lives. I mean, I've said before that Trump would make a terrible leader. He would usher in an era of ruin heretofore never experienced. And I still stand by that. That has not changed. It's just I'm looking forward to that now. That's what I want.
Yeah, I'm looking. Well, and this is where I was going with. I'm looking forward to the State of the Union addresses with him there. God, I will be turning that shit on. That part of me that's like, oh fuck, this again. Great.
Yeah.
Now I know what I'm going to hear. Now I've heard from every politician ever. It's going to be they're going to a bunch of empty platitudes. You know, we love the troops. America's the greatest country in the world. We love America. We're not going to say what we're going to do. We're just going to say some empty platitudes.
Yeah.
With Trump, at least he'll probably do the same thing. But goddamn, would it be some entertainment?
I mean,
to hear him just say some random crazy bullshit. Oh fuck!
I didn't even think that far ahead. I was just thinking to like inauguration. I didn't.
Oh well, yeah. I don't. That was just the first thing that popped in my head. Like, fuck, State of the Union. This will be some entertaining shit.
I mean, I saw yesterday somebody had tweeted, which would you rather have, the racist narcissist or the evil, corrupt, business, whatever they called Hillary? And I'm like, given the two choices, I think I'd rather have the racist, honestly. He's not going to lie to me. I mean, he might be incorrect about any given topic, but he's not going to lie.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Hillary, we're just going to basically be getting more of the same. With Trump, there's at least going to be something different. It might be a bad difference. Yes. But maybe. Like, I mean, the ultimate hope for the future would be it could usher in an era of people finally like, we need to actually get change in here that has meaning to it.
Right.
And get better. It might be a while. Maybe I'll be, that'll about happen. But at this point, I don't know. I'm just kind of losing. I have never really had much faith in humanity, and it's really been dwindling.
I mean,
rapid goddamn rate.
to Obama's defense, I do admit that he's had nobody to work with since he's been in office.
Oh, I could. Well, fuck that. Yeah, I've witnessed that. I mean, that's another thing that'll be entertaining. I really wanted it to be Trump and Sanders.
Yeah,
I mean, I really did, because either one of them that gets in there, I mean, the Congress is going to be it's going to be another at least 4 years of a clusterfuck. At least. Maybe some with Hillary too, but I have a feeling she'll bend over for the Republican for whatever she needs to do.
Yeah.
Well, whatever she's saying now is not what's going to get done at all.
Of course.
At all.
But if you don't vote for her, it means you're a sexist.
Oh, yeah. I was about to say misogynist, but same thing. Yeah.
Even if
that's the only reason you couldn't
vote for the other woman, Jill Stein. Even if you're going to vote for her, you're still a sexist because you're not going to vote for Hillary. Oh my God, did I piss people off? Just going and trolling, Hillary groups is like, I'm not voting for this bitch. They're like, you're a sexist. I'm like, I'm voting for Jill Stein, which I have not decided yet.
Yeah, I took one of those tests recently. It was like the thing, like one of those quizzes, like 100 or so questions about every issue and all this. That said, like, who should, all that one. My number one person, it said, was Jill Stein. Number two, Gary Johnson. Number three, Sanders.
Right. The last time I did one of those was in the 2004 primaries, and I was 18. That was my first election, my first vote, and I wound up with Dennis Kucinich as my Democratic primary candidate that I was most closely aligned with. So I voted for him. I did not vote for Kerry in the primaries. That election was not my fault.
Understandable. I just went to the chat. I'm looking here. And Charming Man is here, so hello, Charming Man. So there's a few hairy hand and all, but Charming Man just said something interesting.
Okay.
I have no idea what the fuck this means. Now I have to ask you. He says, London now has same-sex pedestrian traffic lights, apparently.
Oh, that means apparently gay couples used to have to cross the street after the straight couples. Like the gay couples had to cross the street during a yellow light. So they had to hurry.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was wondering how that worked.
Yeah, that's how it used to be in England. And again, I'm saying things on the internet that are not true.
Yeah. Oh, well, wait a minute. Saying something on the internet that isn't true? You are a trendsetter, my friend. Shit. Fuck. Well, not really. I mean, fuck. Yeah. Well, I mean, hey. I mean, we'll look at the internet. I mean, hey, Islam has nothing to do with Islam, right?
Yeah, right. That's
that
exactly
too.
Right. Islam has nothing to do with itself.
Yeah. Fuck. All right. Okay. Now I do believe you did have like a plan for some topics, or if we're just going to run with it. But
you know how we do.
That is true.
I
do got to ask because this is something that I know nothing about. This whole new YouTube rules policy.
The new YouTube rules policy.
I've not paid, like, for the last few months, I paid such little attention to a lot of what's going on, other than this last week, which was, of course, Islam has nothing to do with Islam.
Yeah.
Islamophobia is a big issue, not the fact that the guy that murdered gay people was pledging allegiance to the Islamic State.
Right.
Of Iraq and Syria, but nothing to do with Islam. But anyway, that just amazes me. But yeah,
it's Edward Snowden's birthday today.
Happy
birthday, Edward Snowden! I'm sure the people at the NSA that hate you are listening to this conversation. So everybody wish Edward Snowden a happy birthday. I saw a comment like a year ago that really pissed me off, and I will never forget it because of the absolute fucking monumental levels of stupidity in it. Somebody said that, and I don't even know what platform this was on. It was whether it was YouTube or Twitter or Reddit or where it was. I have no idea where it was, but I'll never forget the comment. It said that Anita Sarkeesian is the Edward Snowden of our generation. Now think about that. Edward Snowden is the Edward Snowden of our generation, you dumb fucker.
Wow.
He's still alive.
If I think about that, I may kill myself here before the stream is over.
Oh, well, let's get a countdown timer on the screen then. And
that is what exactly did she expose?
I don't know.
Video game asses, maybe? That fucking horrid trauma? Motherfuck. Jesus. Yeah. Go Trump, nuke the world.
That's
this place.
That's another burden for you to carry on your shoulders now, like I have for the past year.
Well, that is a dumb enough comment. I can easily see why you would fucking remember it for a year.
Right.
I mean, of all the dumb shit I've seen in a year, I think that would still rank top 5.
Yeah, that's
I'm kind of floored. I could probably spend the next 3 hours bitching about that comment alone.
Excuse me. So I remember, I guess this was a couple of months ago when the new YouTube harassment, speaking of Anita Sarkeesian, the new YouTube harassment and cyberbullying policy, like when that topic was first making its rounds. But I
heard about it then, and I thought I didn't know there was something new since.
It's either changed or it was just put into effect yesterday, from what I've seen. So what we're looking at here, abusive videos, comments, and messages, which is every single video and comment on YouTube, at least like the ones that we do.
No, maybe. Well, how do they define abusive?
Especially
in this context. It's just a vague term. And abusive. I mean, if we haven't made it to where technology, I can't like punch my fucking computer and it's going to go through and punch her in the fucking face.
Well, let's see. Let's put this to the test. Hayes, you are a cunt-faced cocksucker.
All right. Yes, I am. Oh my God. Well, okay. All this. All right. You are a cunt-faced cuckety-doo faggot.
Oh. Pulled out the faggot already, huh?
Yeah. I had to try to throw out cuckfag and trying to throw out some words to get them. I don't know. Got to use the triggering words because the words themselves are what's awful. You don't need to look at context at all. That doesn't matter anymore. Context is all but dead.
In that case, Hayes, you are an incestuous. Looks like that one hit the censor.
Yeah, no shit. I was just saying, well, they're listening. All this has been muted.
It looks like that one didn't get through. So we draw the line. We draw the line at incest.
Oh shit.
Yeah, we can't talk about that because people actually are incestuous. So that would be rude. The next one on the list is I agree with this one, revealing someone's personal information. That one.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That one belongs where it is.
Yep.
Actually, no, I don't think that fits in harassment or cyberbullying, but that one should be on. Yes.
Well, yeah, maybe in the wrong category, but definitely something that, yeah, you can't argue that one.
I mean, really, to be any kind of harassment, it would need to be persistent. And revealing someone's information, you only have to do that once to be fucking wrong.
Yeah, that's true.
But yes, I agree with that one. Maliciously recording someone without their consent. This is against the law in several states. There's several what's called two-party consent states. Two-party consent laws in several states. Pennsylvania is one of them, where like you can't record phone calls unless both people agree to the recording of it. And
yeah.
But then there's other states where it's just one-party consent laws, where only one person has to consent to the conversation being recorded. And I could be wrong on this one, but I'm pretty sure that any conversations that take place in public are, excluded from this rule because there's no expectation of privacy in public.
Yeah, that would make sense. Well, I'm just trying to figure out how that would make sense, like in the context of YouTube.
In the context of YouTube,
yeah. Well, the example I would think of is a stupid one, but let's say like somebody's sleeping and like you put their hand in warm water and they piss themselves.
Classic.
Right? And yeah, you record that, then they record it, upload that to the fucking YouTube. So then this person, while they didn't consent to be recorded, has a video of them pissing themselves on the internet now. And then they want to file a complaint. I could see it, like, I would think something close to that lines.
And let's be honest, we've all been there.
I have not been there. I have woken up with markers on my face. As I've also drawn that. Yeah, I had a swastika on my forehead and a penis.
Of course, those are
that's happened.
Those are the standard two.
Yeah, and even if I did give consent, I'm pretty sure I was drunk, so I don't think it counts. But I don't think there was any pictures of that uploaded to the internet, as far as I know. And then vice versa, they got a receipt later on.
I overcharged you. Here's your change. Did you have your shoes on when you passed out?
Don't remember.
See, that's where I draw the line. If you pass out with your shoes on, then you're fair game because it means you did not intend to fall asleep. And so whatever anybody does to you, that's, on you. But if you are not wearing your shoes, then you're off limits. That's where I draw the line. That's where I've always had that rule. If you go back to my 2012 birthday video, like she was calling herself Nicotine and Silence at that point. Because, my birthday was like 4 days long. The party went on for 4 days. And we went to another YouTuber's house at this point. And the two idiots in the living room were passing out. And she comes out with this box of Christmas decorations, and she's like, I'm going to wrap these motherfuckers in Christmas lights and tinsel. The next one that falls asleep. I'm like, can't let you do it if they're not wearing their shoes. Anyway. Sorry for that trip down memory lane on that one.
I kickstarted that one. So, nice drunk
We
stories
never
from a
really
decade
answered the
ago.
question what this means, maliciously recording somebody without their consent. I mean, it's...
Yeah, I mean, I gave an example of basically what it could mean.
Yeah.
But I'm not 100% sure. I mean, that's how these fucking rules are. They're just so fucking vague.
Right. I don't know. Deliberately posting content in order to humiliate someone. That is every video I've ever done.
Well, partially, but I would say that pretty much, I mean, if that's the case, then Steve Shives shouldn't have a YouTube channel because he deliberately posts content that humiliates himself. So why is his fucking content still up?
That's exactly my point. I mean, if you're going to post content of you saying stupid shit and somebody else just repeats what you said.
Yeah. Well, I think it's Joel Vincent here in the chat. I'm not sure exactly the context of this. It says, yeah, if you publicly make a video, are you fair game? Not sure 100% of the context, but yes, if you publicly make a stupid fucking video and someone like Aldus, myself, or any others who watch that video and go, wow, this is fucking stupid, respond and state as such, yes.
Yeah. Anything that you put out there is fair game. Now, I will, when I make a video about certain topics, which would, certain topics usually only include people under the age of 18, such as bronies.
Yeah.
And I know there's going to be people in the chat that are like, I'm 36 and I'm a brony. And I'm like, well, you're a fucking... get out of my chat. You see anybody in their 30s in the chat that is a brony, I want you to, or at least admits to it, I want you to kick them.
All right. Yeah, I do forget. You did give me moderator power, so I can do that. And I believe Charming Man, if Charming Man's still in here, Charming Man, you're on call for this too.
That's right. I don't want any of those fuckers watching me. But yeah, usually, there's certain topics like, and other kin, that's another one.
Oh, yeah.
Where a lot of your marks are going to be, young people. So
yeah, the attention seekers got to be different, be as unique as possible. So come up with crazy bullshit.
When that happens, I do tone it down. The sexual overtones aren't there. I didn't say undertones because my sexual comments are usually overt. I will tone it down when dealing with kids, but still, if you're going to post something retarded, you absolutely deserve to have it repeated.
Yeah, that's just common fucking sense. I mean, like, if you're on the internet and you post something, yeah, and people might fucking see it, expect different reactions.
Right.
From anyone. I mean, shit, you get fucking... my videos get thumbs... I get thumbs down, but I rarely get... They don't seem to comment.
Oh, man. I pissed off every motherfucker with my Sargon video. Everybody.
Yeah. I only seen you talking about that on Twitter, so I'm not exactly sure how.
Well, I started off the video proving that 0.99999 equals 1.
Okay, yeah, I did see. Yeah, I saw the video, and so yeah, you doing like all the math shit that I'm terrible at. So
everybody in the comments, everybody that hates Sargon, hated that video anyway. All right, so that's a given. But all of Sargon's followers that came over, and I can't say all of them, but the majority of them were like, why did it take you so long to get to the point? My attention span is so terrible. Your math is wrong because the answer hurts my head. And so, so my most controversial video ever was that one.
Wow.
But I
knew I was taking you so long because I mean, if you didn't, that could have been a 40-second video tops.
Right. But I will say that for every 10 of Sargon's followers that absolutely hate my guts now, there was one that saw the video and got what I was doing and subscribed. So, and those are the ones I want anyway. I figure let them weed themselves out. I'm fine with that. You know,
Yeah.
cream always rises, that sort of thing.
Oh yeah.
Let them filter themselves out.
Oh, yeah, that's the way it should be. I mean, this YouTube thing, I mean, this is a hobby for me.
Right.
So, you know, hey, subscribe. If people are watching, great. But I'm not doing this to necessarily like get people watching.
Yeah.
You know, because that would just be horrible. Then I wouldn't want to do it.
I mean, I was doing this shit when nobody was watching. So
Yeah.
fuck you people who are watching now. Where were you 6 years ago?
Shit.
Assholes.
Okay. All right. Now, if you don't mind, right quick, I got to jump to the chat here because somebody said somebody's talking to you directly.
Oh, me? Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Says, yeah. Hey, Colonel. You see where AOD asked if you paid me to say I thought he was dead? XD.
No, I did not see that. Who said that?
That would be Darren Kennard.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Then we got Harry Hand. Why do guys like Sargon of Akkad or whoever have followers, in quotes, who defend them?
I'm not sure, but they seem to be. I used to think all fanboys were the same. I used to think that, but like if you go from Thunderfoot's fanboys to Sargon's fanboys, they're two completely different animals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, most of them are. I mean, I think anybody, shit, man. I mean, even us. I mean, it's going to be a small number as we're smaller channels, but
right.
I have to say both of us have probably got some people that are, you know, I mean, if we mock a video, I wouldn't be, at least a couple people probably might go to the original video and be like, you suck, leave their comment, whatever.
I've always said that I'm like the ECW of YouTube. So, you know, not many people know me, but the ones that do are fanatical. I like it that way.
Yeah, I guess I would be like the CZW.
Right.
I don't know. Well, then again, I think I've probably been doing this as long as you, not on this channel, but well, I don't know. I don't know when you started. When did you start?
October 9th, 2009 was my first release.
Oh, okay. All right. I think I was doing this like at some point in 2008.
Okay.
Actually. Yeah, I was the old Godless Haze channel doing like basically about religion and whatnot.
Right.
You know, those were different times when it was just pretty much about Christianity.
Yeah.
And there was many Christians on here and saying really dumb things.
I tried to mock Islam back in those days, but I just wasn't very familiar with it and didn't care enough to learn.
Yeah, I think I did once or twice because I know of the death threats that I've gotten. It's been 2. And both of them were sent to me through the YouTube message system.
Yep.
Because I criticized Islam and basically telling me I deserve death, and that I will get banned. That was it.
I get a death threat about once every 18 months or so. Whenever this guy gets out of jail.
Oh.
Like every time he gets out of jail, he's still holding a grudge from like 2010. He every time he gets out, he messages me, "I'm gonna fucking kill you," and I give him my address and tell him good luck. Every single time.
Yeah. Then he gets pissed off, fucking gets drunk, does something to go to jail again. Yep. The cycle repeats. Yep. You frustrate him by giving the address. He does something stupid.
You better bring a lot of guns, pal.
Well, the guns should just bring themselves. I mean, they're pretty much responsible for all murders. It's nothing else. You know, I mean, that's why I had to use your clip in my video, man. That was fucking excellent.
Yep.
I mean, it was simple, but it was goddamn it. That is exactly the fucking case. Fucking ridiculous.
Let's see. Next,
I guess that's going to be for what, the next half hour?
Yeah, we'll save that. We'll have a panel in about half an hour here or so. We'll talk about guns because we both covered the Islam side of it, and it is kind of like, speaking specifically with the Orlando shooting, it is a little silly to assume. I mean, we have, you know, gun control and radical Islam. You know, we have these two issues here, and it's ridiculous to assume that it's one or the other. I mean, they both played a part. So we'll We both talked about the Islam. We'll talk about the guns.
Right. Yeah, I think one played a much bigger part, but I guess we'll get there.
Yes, I do agree with that. Islam was a much bigger part of the whole deal. Next item up for bids here. Let's see. Making hurtful or negative comments, videos about another person, which again, making hurtful and negative comments. Comments.
Yes, that.
Which is every single comment on YouTube. Comment sections, that's where, like, you shouldn't go to comment sections because they're.
That's what a comment section is. If you read the comment sections on, especially the more popular videos, no shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess what amazes me, this is adults talking about this, conversing with other adults.
Oh, okay. In that case, under tips and advice, why does it say, tell an adult if you remain concerned about another's actions towards you online?
And it said that shit fucking, that's what it said like a couple months ago.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost like they realize like these people are such fucking pussies that they need go tell somebody who has an adult mind, maybe you're like a 35-year-old who cries when you see a mean comment. So you might want to tell the more mature than you 15-year-old that they need to put a filter.
I'm almost wondering if these rules will ever be enforced, or if they're just there to placate the social justice warriors into thinking that they're on their side, but then down below they're mocking them. Tell an adult.
Yeah, I've wondered that too. Or just wondered if, maybe the people that are doing this are thinking, like, there's no fucking way, like, adults are talking about other adults with this. This has got to be about children, right?
Right, yeah.
So they wrote this stuff up thinking about this, and eventually it'll be, no, this is an adult. These are, like, a good amount of time, like, adults in their fucking 30s.
Right.
Conversing with each other, or not even conversing with, like Steve. I don't know how old Shives is. I mean, shit. At this point, for the better part of the last 6 months, like at least every other video I have had has mentioned that stupid motherfucker, and I don't even intend for it. But goddamn, if he just doesn't up his game every fucking time I see him. And
he does give good head, so that's something.
Yeah, I mean, at least he did something right, I mean, shit, dude. At this point, I can safely say your dick is the smartest thing that's ever come in or out of his mouth. Well,
good night, everybody.
There's the zinger, folks.
Yeah.
And it's true.
Unwanted sexualization, which encompasses sexual harassment or sexual bullying in any form. Hayes, does your penis go to the left or the right?
Left.
It goes to the left. It's mine stays straight and true. We call that an Autobahn.
Oh, good on you, man. Yeah, I think mine kind of adapted to my hand a bit.
My buddy told me about back when he used to drink, and like he blacked out with an erection and fell on his dick, and ever since then it bent, like he broke his dick, it bent to the left.
I've heard stories like that.
Yeah,
that's fucking cringeworthy to hear.
Yeah. So ever since he told me that story, I've taken very good care to pass out on my back.
Oh, I would too. After hearing those stories, that's what I've done, the same fucking thing.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want to break my dick. Unwanted sexualization, unwanted sexual harassment, and here I and you fucking answered the question.
Because I'm an adult, I'm not going to cry over it. But I also want to know, I mean, like, how is this going to be implemented? I mean, well, somebody, I've seen somebody brought up like a Lacey Green video, and I haven't seen her do this in a while, but I don't know, like her older videos from years ago,
right?
Fucking cleavage fest.
Yeah.
Now, if you do a video, all right. I mean, if I did a shirt, well, fuck. All right, let's just use her, and we'll use Kazumi because Kazumi does shirtless videos all the fucking time, right?
Kazumi is
it's like pretty much like that's his thing, right?
He's completely naked in his video.
Oh, okay. So we got those two, right? So if you're going to do a video where your tits are showing, and then wouldn't it be logical to think, I bet I'm going to at least get a few comments talking about my tits, or Kazoom's case, hey, I'm naked. Somebody like show lower or fucking put clothes on or whatever the fuck.
I mean, at some point today, I'm going to get my hairs cut. And in my next video, if somebody says, nice haircut, what am I supposed to say about that?
Well, yeah, maybe that's an unwanted sexual advance.
Yeah. But it's something that, again, I'm putting it out there. I'm making the choice for it to be published on the internet. And how is this going to be implemented is the big question, and I don't think it's going to be.
Yeah, I hope not. I mean, we'll find it out. We'll find it out as if we both still have channels.
Right, yeah.
I mean, that's really what it comes down to. At least for me, I'm not fucking... I'm going to just do what I do. Whatever happens to the channel fucking happens.
Right.
So...
I mean, for years, I've put out videos that totally deserve to be flagged down, and I'm wearing bulletproof armor made out of fucking rabbits' feet and leprechauns because for the first 5, no, it wasn't that long. When was my first flag? That was 2012, I think. The Incredible Walking Vagina. That was the name of the video.
All right.
Where I was talking about a guy named Inventor Gorilla and how he completely transformed into a big walking pussy.
Oh, yeah.
That had visual aids, too.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I had a whole bunch of sheets of printer paper, and I drew on them with a Sharpie. It was just a picture of a man and how he slowly turned into a vagina.
I've only had 2 videos flagged. There was the Kevin Logan one on my current channel recently, and there was I'm amazed at your fucking memory. Like, I can't even remember who the fuck this video was about, but it was about like this fucking. I just remember kind of who it was. It was just like this dumb, arrogant. He was stupid and arrogant at the same time. Some fucking Christian. It was doing like the atheist are stupid. You're stupid. I mean, just said the dumbest video. So I just made a video screaming my head off, like, you fucking retard. Just going off on him. And of course, I got flagged. And I can't even remember his fucking name. But at that time, flagging, I'm still fairly new to YouTube, new to the flagging thing. Didn't realize that it was complete bullshit and a joke then. Figured it out real quick.
Yeah.
So then at that point, it's like, all right, I gave it out. It got mirrored at some point or another.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like, I don't give a shit. Don't mirror it. Don't care. The system's fucked. We're not changing it. I'm done.
Every one of my videos that gets flagged down was exceptionally good. All my best ones are gone. Shady for Christ, dog fucker. That one was so good. Oh man. Bacon lips. We call her bacon lips now because of me.
That's awesome. All right. Well, I might get an echo here. Not sure if nobody's chatting or what, because I still got the chat window going, but nobody's said anything for a while. Except for the Joel Vincent says, tell a blue-haired fat ass.
What?
Yeah, that's the last thing in here. It's like, tell a 35-year-old brony if you're triggered.
Oh, okay.
I'm just kind of reading here. Okay, that. Okay, hey, I thought you were dead. Snickers. So what happened between you and the woolly bumblebee? A link. We're refreshed.
Woolly bumblebee. We disagreed about Sargon, and she hasn't talked to me since.
Oh, all right. Yeah. Well, yeah. I haven't heard from her. I just I got told off by Mr. Woolybee. Somewhat anyway.
Yeah.
And that was it. Haven't heard from anybody, but I also haven't been around. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
It's not just them, but I have never seen the point of 2 people in the same room, in the same house, messaging each other on the internet.
Yeah. Okay. Let's just go back.
Not just them, but they're the most recent example. And it's like when a couple of years ago, my roommate and I were talking about who we had on Skype, and he's like, "I don't have you on Skype." I was like, "Why would you need me on Skype? We live in the same house. We're sitting here face to face right now, like we do every fucking day. And when we're not sitting here face to face, like we do every fucking day, we have each other's phone numbers. We text and call each other. Why would we need each other on Skype?"
So when you're in different rooms, you don't have to yell. Maybe. I mean, I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, it makes no fucking sense, really. I don't get that shit either. But I mean, I guess with Twitter, I could kind of see that because some of that shit is more for an audience.
Twitter is drama, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the 140 characters. It's where everybody goes to have the best intellectual discussion.
Yeah.
You know, I take Twitter super serial.
Super duper serial, guys.
Yeah. That's why all I do is retweet stupid shit. It's like 90% of what I do on Twitter. But it's fun. And I'm using it for what I believe its intended purpose was. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Oh, yeah, the chat's going again. I mentioned it. Now everybody's talking.
Oh, yeah. That's how it works.
Yeah, basically about potato. Yeah, they just need attention from time every now and again. Don't worry, folks.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I'm here. All this doesn't want to bother with you, so I suffer through it.
I love you guys, but I'm not going to read your bullshit.
Be like Steve Shive. Just, I love you. I just want to tell you, I love you. That's going to make it better. Fuck. God. Fuck. Oh, God. He needs to put your dick in his mouth more often. Maybe it'll teach him something.
Yeah, it'll at least shut him up for at least 2 minutes.
Yeah, there's a fucking godsend. I might believe in God if he gets smarter because of your dick. Your dick might get a fucking warship altar.
You jackass. You laughed at the part that wasn't funny. I put my dick in his mouth. It'll shut him up for at least 2 minutes.
Well, hey, that gives credit if it only takes him 2 minutes. I figured if you look down, that would almost have to fucking get it reinvigorated, engaged somehow. That's like why we tape a picture of something to his head. Tape a picture of a dog so that way you can keep hard.
Or like a crime scene or something. Or do you remember when the tornado destroyed Moore, Oklahoma?
Vaguely.
It was a couple years ago. I remember coming home from work and seeing that on the TV. And I texted the last person that I had talked to when I got home. And I was like, "Oh, man, do you see the news? This tornado just destroyed this town in Oklahoma. I've got half an erection just looking at this." The other half feels really bad for these people.
Oh, shit.
He said that's probably the most fucked up thing he's ever heard me say, and which is what I was going for. So then, of course, I had to top that later with in the back of this truck right now, I've got 2 midgets. They're brother and sister. I'm going to make them fuck. I'm going to make them fuck. You gotta come see this before I dump the bodies.
No shit. It was like I read this joke somewhere the other night. It just said somebody was just like, "So I was in the middle of fucking my sister," and she said, "Wow, you fuck like dad." And I said, "Really? That's what mom said."
I like that one. That's a good one.
Hey, I remembered it the next day, so you know I liked it.
That's a good one. Shit. We're coming up at 11:45 here. Let me double check Skype here.
All right.
And see, because my one guest is going to use Skype to message me, and the other 2 will use Twitter. We're gonna get ready for the big gun debate, which will probably start off on topic, like of course we do, and then well, you know how we do things.
Yeah, we'll see where it diverges into.
I'm sure everybody who's watching this at noon right now also knows how these go. All right, he's on now. And I promise we'll do a game with the guests at the end of the show that won't be so tough on your brain. I promise we'll make it a little bit easier for you.
If you say so. If not, I can always leave. Internet connect out. Gone.
At this point, I think we're going to take a break. I'm going to grab a cup of coffee, and then I will be right back.
All right. I will entertain the guests to go through
get out the dick and start helicoptering it and everything, and I'll be right back.
Okay, I say Button and his ex-wife used to message each other in the same house. Not surprising. Okay, plus how else you going to send nasties? Oh, all right, Skepto, you got a point. Dark Firebrand, hello. Fuck-facing Steve would be like looking down at the world's ugliest, furriest vagina. Yeah, that is 100% accurate. Yeah, and Steve definitely would block everyone from saying it. 5 things I liked about Aldus's cock. That would probably be his most viewed and most liked video. Because it would be the one honest thing that he's posted ever since, well, the last at least 2 years. Yeah, all right. Okay, so how's it going, chat? Seeing as you're all behind, by the time you start answering that question, Aldous will be back and we'll be talking about something completely different. But, hey, what the fuck? And yeah, so... all
right, that didn't take too long at all, did it?
No, not at all. Yeah, ironic. I don't know if you just heard me. I was like, so how's it going, Chet? I don't know why I'm asking you this, simply because I know by the time all this gets back is when you're going to start responding. Then boy, I called that one.
Well, no, the coffee is like right over there, so it wasn't going to take me long at all.
Well, we got well, Stan, you missed the beginning. Yeah, I was talking about some awesome underwear I got. Boxer briefs, like $30 for 2 pair, but my God, the cuddling of the balls, far better than Hanes and Fruit of the Loom. Not as good as free balling, but pretty nice.
All right, I'm going to start handing out the links to our guests now, one of which is already listening, Mr. Robert Wallace.
All right. Yes. I
wow.
know that
okay. I'm trying to message him and talk to you at the same time, and I'm writing to him the words I'm saying to you.
Oh. All right.
So, that does not work.
All right. Well, yeah, you focus on the writing. I can continue to babble here to the chat, I guess. Give them some time. All right. We've got Stan. His underwear is almost as old as his kids. Don't know how old your kids are, Stan, but goddamn. Good.
That's commitment.
That is. I understand that. I got a couple old pairs of boxers. I went on my first underwear purge in years when I bought some of these new ones. I go on sock purges regularly because I hate them.
Yeah, I did that a couple years ago because there were I had so many socks with holes in them. So I decided, fuck it, I'm going to throw away every single pair of socks I have. And I went and I bought 16 pairs of socks, and they're all the same. So
that's what I did. It's fucking great.
I don't have to worry about matching them.
Oh, yeah, I did this. I did the same thing just because of that point. I hate fucking that shit.
Yeah, so fuck that. And now, if one of them gets a hole in it, I don't have to throw out the whole sock or the whole pair because they're all the same anyway. They don't come in pairs. So, fuck it. All right. So, we have Robert Wallace already.
Welcome. Yeah.
Hello.
Evening, morning, whatever.
I just looked up to see if everybody was coming in, and we have the first one already. Welcome to the show, Robert Wallace.
It's good to be here.
How are you today?
So far, not too bad, I guess. Still trying to wake up, drink my morning tea.
Does your dick go to the left or the right?
Right now, it's hanging right down center.
It's called an Autobahn.
I choose to you.
we call that an Autobahn. And at some point, hopefully, the other two will be joining us, and
yeah. Then we'll get on topic for a minute or so.
We'll get on topic for about a minute, and then we'll see what happens, because that sort of thing, that shit don't fly in my shows.
Planning, come on.
Yeah, right. We have everybody here. Let's see here. We have Skeppo, and we have Spiky. Welcome to the show.
Hello.
What's up? How is everybody today?
Wait, like nobody's naked. That's not cool.
Well, you don't know that.
That's true.
Oh, that's true. Cameras, please.
You don't want to see me this early.
You don't want to see me this early.
So I guess Skeppo is excused from this question, but Spiky, does your dick go to the left or the right?
Oh man, it's pretty much like a tree. It just goes up. It just goes up into the clouds.
My dick is so big it holds up the sky.
Wow, how you doing?
Yes.
My dick is so big it only plays arenas.
I'm suddenly incredibly attracted to you right now.
Oh, well, why so suddenly? That should have been, like, it should have been apparent. I mean, I have to tuck it in my sock when I walk around.
It's so hot.
I've been meaning to ask you this, Aldus, but do you stir your coffee with your dick?
From time to time, yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. Adds a little flavor.
Although ever since the Steve Shives blowjob, I think I'll probably avoid that from now on. I don't want anything that's touched Shives' mouth to touch anything that's going in my mouth.
Yeah, unless he blocked your dick.
Anyway, we're supposed to be talking about.
Yeah, what's gonna happen?
Supposed to be talking.
All this calls a semen Steve's IQ medicine.
I mean, we could make Steve Shives jokes all morning though.
I know.
It's too easy.
Yeah, it is.
That's true.
We could go till tomorrow morning.
If you ever decide to do a 72-hour stream, I think I know the topic.
Like I'm sitting there, my shirt's unbuttoned, I'm fucking chain smoking cigarettes, my hair's all fucked up, I'm drinking coffee right out the pot, just, here's another one. Shives' pussy is so abused. They had to call child youth services.
Holy shit.
The one thing I always wondered about Shives is when his wife is pegging him, I wonder how big the dildos she uses are, because they must be huge. But that's just me. My mind goes into that depraved shit all the time.
Like every few months, she has to get a bigger one. Keep going. They get like a dildo subscription service. We're moving up to 14 next month, Steve.
Holy shit!
You're going to be a
sea
Seabiscuit by the end of the year.
We'll have to get bigger, like butt plugs.
Well, see, I used to walk around with anal beads that had crosses burned in them.
That's really cool.
I would go around having people lay hands on my rosaries, and They never said anything as they got bigger and bigger and bigger.
Oh, so you did get they did get bigger and bigger. So that's so they wouldn't just slip out.
That's the idea, I assume.
Oh my god.
I guess this is my punishment for planning something, isn't it?
Well, I mean, technically it's not quite noon yet, so we got time to bullshit.
Oh, that is true. That is true. I wasn't thinking of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
How about that? Huh.
My apologies. My apologies.
Jeez. Why do you want to check on here to talk about guns? I know how to bake.
My gun is in my pants.
But you were big on the gun debate, I thought.
Oh yeah. I have some opinions on it.
At least I saw you arguing on Twitter about it, which is why I asked you.
Yeah, I don't own one, but I'm very pro gun. But we'll talk about that.
Same.
Right. Same here.
Well, I have lots of guns.
And I'm an ex-Muslim, so.
Yeah, that's right. I saw you talking about that as well.
Yeah, I was Muslim. I was even in Akabi. I lived in Pakistan and I spent some time in Afghanistan and.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
That's cool.
I
Well,
was an
maybe
extremist.
not, but...
I mean, it's not cool that I was an extremist, but
Right.
yeah. I actually I left with my 2 children and 6 suitcases to get away.
Good.
A pretty cool story. Fuck them.
Fuck them all.
Yeah. So I can't own a gun legally because we're all on like the watch list and shit.
Right.
Seriously, like my son's on it. He's 13. He's on it.
Yeah.
My daughter's
I can
on
see
it.
that happening.
Yeah.
I mean, my whole thing with the Islam debate is, at the end of the day, it's still a religion, and we know that even if God exists, the odds of any religion on earth getting it right are essentially 0. So why defend it? I don't know.
I don't
That's
understand why people defend it. Atheists defend it. What?
I know, that's...
Yeah, that's one of the weirdest fucking things that I've seen happen over the last few years. Maybe it was happening before, but over the last few years, it seems like it's gotten just insane.
And
The double
because
standards.
I don't fit in with their narrative of what an ex-Muslim is, and I'm an ex-Christian, so, well, Mormons aren't Christians, but ex-Mormon. So they can't really say to me, and I have mixed-race children.
Oh,
So,
wow. If you're
you can-
ex-Scientologist, too, that's like the hat trick.
Almost, maybe I should look into it just to say that I was.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool. The trifecta, right?
Yeah.
But so when they argue with me, they either will tell me that I don't really know Islam, and I'm like, well, yeah, I do because I lived under Sharia law. For real, I lived under Sharia law.
Yeah, I did.
So
I did see you talking about that. So
Yeah.
I guess I did know that you were in the Middle East at one point.
that's the arguments, though. It's either my Islam wasn't like the rest of the world's Islam. I don't really know what I'm talking about. I didn't study Islam, or I'm white, so how could I possibly understand the plight of the brown Muslim? What do you like? I seriously have been told I'm the wrong color to be a real ex-Muslim.
Did you tell them that was racist?
Yeah, but I'm the racist for hating Muslims,
Well, because you're white.
right?
Yeah, that's the nonsense about this whole fucking thing with this. Is that it's not about. I'm not saying it is that. I think that's why people are jumping to defend, like, I guess, Islam, because they consider it like the brown religion, and you get like the social justice fucking camp. They will defend anything that isn't white to the death.
Yeah.
And that's all that matters. So they see it. It's like, no, it has nothing to do with them. It has to do with the ideology behind it. The ideology, shit. That's the point.
Yeah.
Well, no. Oh, no, you're just racist. This has nothing to
Hashtag.
do with race.
Hashtag.
Yeah, it does.
Anything but Islam. Anyway.
It's insanity. I'm like, I thought maybe because I was getting older. My kids are getting a little bit older. I had them really young because Mormons get married at 12.
Well.
And so I was 18 when I started pumping out babies, and so I thought maybe as I've viewed the world differently, and I've had so many experiences overseas and living under different kinds of religions and things. I thought that's what it was, but no, it's not. People are just fucking insane.
Pretty much.
I've decided, and I went off. I'm just done. I don't want to live here anymore.
I don't want to live on this planet anymore.
Right.
I love that line.
So
I know the feeling. I feel like a fucking alien watching this. I feel like I'm just like sitting here watching the shit show unfold, and I have no idea how to react to it.
Do you wonder though if this is how people felt in historically when shit was going down and you could see the world starting to burn in front of your eyes? Do you think that some people just sat back and be like, well, there's not a damn thing I can do about it? So
Trump is the presumptive Republican nominee, right?
Right.
That's exactly what you're describing. I've invited you all here because at least Robert Wallace. I don't think I've ever just called you Robert. It's always been Robert Wallace.
Yeah, it is what it is. At least they're not call me Mister.
I'll call you Mister.
I wouldn't want to assume your gender identity.
You're right. The facial hair can be ambiguous.
Yeah, out there, I identify someone based on the way they look, like I identify everything. I about know your stance on guns. I about know Skepo's stance on guns. Spikey kind of explained it to me a little bit over on Twitter. I'll give you my position, and then we'll talk about it a little bit from there. Years and years ago, like before mass shootings became like fashionable, my position on guns always was the law is the law. If I'm going down the expressway, speed limit's 55, the law is the law. I don't care what this, I'm not that passionate about the speed limit. I wasn't that passionate about guns. But then when all these mass shootings started happening, especially Newtown, Connecticut. Was it Newtown? Is that what it was called?
Not sure.
Because I know
it was Sandy Hook, I think.
Sandy Hook.
It was Sandy Hook, I think.
But that was the name of the school, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was the name of the school.
It was in Newtown, yeah.
Yeah.
Either or.
Because I know I was very close, within a few miles of Newtown, right after that happened. And I almost went to see what was going on. And, really at that point, I started looking at these numbers like, this is getting outrageous, there's way too many people dying, and I became very in favor of gun regulations. And it wasn't until about a couple months ago I'm starting to look at other numbers. And like Pew Research has their thing. Let me see if I can find that again. I believe I bookmarked it. Let's see. Bookmarks. Let me bring this up real quick and then... here. If we don't count suicides, because we're talking about gun murders and mass shootings and things like that, and let's be honest, anyone who's going to kill themselves, I don't think is going to use an AK-47 or an AR-15 to do it, because how many rounds would you get off in the first place unless you're killing yourself slowly? But
usually they just blow their heads off the shotgun or maybe a pistol.
Right. If we look at just gun homicides, Pew Research has numbers going from 1993 to 20 years later in 2014. And gun homicides in 1993 were at 7 per 100,000 people. And then in 1994, Clinton signed the federal assault weapons ban, and gun deaths dropped by, I want to say this is because they don't have every year numbered on this chart, so we'll say it looks like 1999, 2000 in that area. By that time, gun homicides dropped to 4 per 100,000, thereabouts, around 4. And then in 2004, the federal assault weapons ban expired. because it had a sunset clause, so it only lasted 10 years. And after that, gun homicides stayed about the same. In fact, they've gone down since then. In 2014, it was 3.4 gun homicides per 100,000 people. That's less than half of where it was in 1993. So I'm looking at that thinking, if assault weapons really are the problem, then you would expect a sharp incline right around 2004 when they became legal again. So while this information hasn't exactly shifted me to don't take away our guns, it has put me back to the law is the law. And so that's where I'm standing at this point. Discuss. I have to let my dogs out.
You know, I would want to point out there when you talk about the assault weapons ban, the assault weapons ban didn't take away anybody's guns. It just banned the sale and manufacture of new guns. So all the assault weapons that were already in play were still in play.
Right. And that's what a similar ban would still do.
Yeah.
Just give me 2 seconds, let out my dogs. I'll be right back.
Now we have the answer to that question. Who let the dogs out?
Who? I'm so nerdy. Oh my god. My kids would be like, oh my god, Mom. You're so not cool.
All right.
All right, I'm back.
Well, all right. Well, welcome back. I'm coming out here to light a cigarette, but I guess I'll try to inject a little thing here because I guess, at least with this most recent one, the gun laws, are that really going to stop some of what's going on? Is there really going to be an effect? I think.
I mean, it.
Well, I think
change.
part of the problem. I think part of the problem is that I think the media has a little bit of a part in it because they're reporting more and more, shootings, mass shootings, and stuff like that. And that I guess I would have to think that ever since around Columbine, I think mass shootings have become taken more and more of a priority with the media especially. So yeah. I think that has a huge part to it.
Yeah, there would be that, and well, I mean now too, especially in the age of the internet and getting news quicker.
Yeah,
exactly. News cycles, we're going to hear about a lot more of this a lot quicker.
Yeah, right. You got like CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, you name it, they're going to report it.
We have a lot of time nowadays, especially with 24-hour news channels. A lot of time that needs to be filled up, and so anytime anything like this happens, it's like, oh, we have content.
Exactly.
Let's go on the air, and you'll see this a lot, especially with this last one. The liberals are going, it's a gun control problem, and the conservatives are going, it's an Islam problem. And Hayes and I were talking about this. We touched on this earlier. I mean, and why can't it be both? Neither side wants to hear that.
Nobody wants to taco with a flat bottom.
Right, yeah.
It's like they're talking about two separate issues, relating to this. It's one side's fault, it's the other side's fault.
Well,
you
got to use the metric I like to use for drug legalization. You got to look at what you're looking at and what benefit versus what harms it gives society, and judge it on a sliding scale. Personally, I have no problem. I have no problem with an assault weapons ban because I don't think people should be outfitting themselves like they're in the military. But there are better options, and what we're doing here in Washington State, I think, are some of the better options.
What would be the reason that anyone would need an assault weapon? What would be their justification for it?
I don't know.
Stopping Islamic jihadists from overrunning your house?
Totally.
Especially with the shit that I'm getting into, that's a possibility.
Absolutely.
I have to go yell at 3 dogs. I can hear them.
Or in the more casual way, if somebody just wants to go to a shooting range and shoot one. Or just to have one. Like, I got this badass assault rifle. Look at this. Isn't it awesome?
Couldn't you go to the shooting range and like check it out though? Like couldn't they have shooting ranges where you check out cool guns to play with at the time and then have to check it back in when you leave? Like you don't own them. It's like a rental kind of thing just for the shooting range.
Yeah, that could happen.
That would be acceptable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
that way you get to play, but you don't need to own one at home.
yeah, exactly. I don't see how you could own an assault rifle. Yeah.
I live in an apartment on the beach. Like, why would I need an assault rifle?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, why?
I mean,
unless you have like a group of burglars entering your home and you want to mow them down, then no.
My dad was a sheriff. Like, I'm not against guns, you know. But there's 2 years ago, or a couple years ago, there was a Chinese guy that knifed 50 people to death. He was a Muslim, or it was in China. It happens anyway. I worked as a nurse in the NHS overseas, and people died all the time from knives. So they will find ways to kill each other no matter what.
I gotta tell you, in my experience as a criminal,
I had to go after the third one.
Yes. In my experience as a criminal back when I was a teenager, I can honestly tell you, having been shot at, as soon as people start putting lead down range, your average criminal's beating ass. They're not going to stand there and banging out with you.
That was
Not a
the
movie.
funniest possible thing to return to. Well, that's not true, but it was pretty young.
But the way I see it, though, is that if people are going to kill you, they're going to find ways to do it. Even if you do ban guns, people are going to find ways. Like you said, Skepo, about the guy in China stabbing all those people.
50 people in one time. I mean, it just...
Exactly. People are going to find a way to kill you, you know? They're going to, with blunt objects, with a vehicle,
bombs,
with knives, bombs,
Yeah.
exactly.
Well, yeah, or now, I mean, well, I guess too, I mean, the guns they're already out there. They're already here. So, it's to me, it's going to be like a thing, like the drug war. I don't see how that, you know, this has been going on, the war on drugs, yet if I was so inclined, give me a few hours, I could find anything the fuck I wanted, I think.
10 minutes, I could walk down the street. I live in a nice area, too, but, the yuppie white people, middle class, always got the best drugs. So you just walk down the door.
Yeah, and it goes into that. I mean, it goes into the motivation. If somebody's truly motivated for it, I mean, well, fuck, we have 3D printers now. Maybe they'll 3D print their own guns. They'll paint a gun. They'll build a bomb. They'll use a knife. They'll fucking get in a plane. They'll use a car.
Yeah. Bombs and pressure cookers, you know?
Yeah.
I have two problems with that way of thinking. One, I don't think anybody's actually talking about an outright prohibition of guns. I know I certainly wouldn't. And two, as long as you're using that argument, well, if they're going to do it, they're going to do whatever. Well, people are going to rape. Let's just legalize rape. It's a silly argument.
Well, I think let's try to find some common ground. Should the general population be allowed to possess suitcase nukes?
No.
Okay. What about drones?
As annoying as they are, so as long as they're not militarized.
No, I mean like the like the one Obama uses to kill brown people.
Then no.
No. How about rocket launchers?
No.
No. We can all agree that there are some kinds of weapons that the general population should not be able to possess. Correct? We can all agree on that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Whose job is it to decide what kinds of weapons the general population should not be allowed to possess?
Ideally, the registered voter.
Okay. Yes. But directly, who's directly the ones who make that decision? That would be lawmakers. Congress.
Yeah, well, if you want to go even bigger, I'd say the Department of Firearms, Tobacco Firearms.
The ATF? Okay.
I can backtrack to something you just said, though, Robert Wallace, about like the legalizing rape analogy you just gave.
Yeah.
Like I'd say that's completely different because if somebody gets a gun illegally, which I think they would be able to do even if they say if you banned assault rifles, somebody would probably still be able to get one. But it's only when they shoot someone with the assault rifle that they're going to get legalized process. Same thing with rape. If you rape someone, then you're in trouble. You get what I'm...
Yeah. Then again, you have to assume that people are going to know that rape is wrong. It's going to be a sociopath. Sociopaths
Right.
rape. Sociopaths kill people.
Yeah.
Well, no, yeah, obviously. I mean, if you're a fucking murderer or a rapist, there's something
Well,
fucking
yeah,
wrong with you.
there's a distinction. There's a distinction between murder and killing that I've always felt was important. If let's say somebody comes to kill you and you kill them back instead, that would not be murder. That would be killing. I killed that person. I did not murder them.
Well, you're defending yourself then.
Yeah.
But
Right?
but if you kill your enemies, they win.
Right. Yeah. That's yeah. Islam has nothing to do with Islam either.
Yeah. Yeah. Somebody left that comment in my video. It was fucking great.
Did they really, like, unironically?
Well, it was ironically, but I'm pretty sure it was, and I about had to have been. But at this point, I can't even tell pose from reality anymore, so maybe not.
It's so hard, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't remember what video it was that you commented on Hayes, but you commented, and it was like dripping with sarcasm. And somebody was like, "This idiot Heisenberg, you said all this stuff." I don't even remember what the fuck it was about.
I love it when people take my sarcasm seriously. It's the best.
It was dripping with, it was soaked with it, and you,
I can't hold it against anybody anymore. I really can't.
True.
I mean, I follow plenty of parody accounts on Twitter, and then I've seen serious accounts saying things equally or dumber than the parody accounts.
Mm-hmm.
It's unbelievable. But anyway, yeah, we're talking about guns.
We're trying to anyway.
Well, I mean, there's so many issues to all of this. I mean, there is like the guns play a role, the ideology plays a role, a big one in my opinion, and then I also think that like the mental stability of the individual plays a role too.
Right.
Mental health services play a big role.
Yeah.
Actually, we're doing something here in Washington State that actually fills that gap. That is going to allow people, if you see a family member, somebody living in your house, who appears as though they're about to be violent, it would allow them to go to court through due process, temporarily suspend their Second Amendment rights, to take their weapons away. Because
what does that involve? Does it involve
Who decides?
Psychiatric
you would have to call the police, and a cop would petition the court, and it would get fast-tracked through.
But then does that person go and see like a psych professional, or?
One would hope. I haven't completely read the PDF.
Okay, all right.
On it. That's coming up for a vote here in November. But it would take firearms, because most mass shooters, people go out there to show evidence to their families and whatnot that they are intending to be violent, and it would give people an opportunity to stop a mass shooting before it happens.
But do they, though? Because a lot of times you hear, "I would never have expected this from this person. He was always so quiet." And
yeah, well, but the Orlando shooter, it seems like there was a multitude of warning signs with this fucking guy.
Yeah, that is true as well.
Yeah, he planned this real well too. I mean, he planned this shit.
Yeah,
when I lived in Texas, my younger brother, he has bad PTSD from being in Korea.
Texas, you've lived in all kinds of shit.
Yes, I lived in San Antonio, so it wasn't so bad. But
lived the life.
Yeah, yes. He was suicidal, but he was waking up like screaming, and he was sleeping with a gun under his pillow. And I went to his the Veterans Affairs place and talked to a psychiatrist and said how scared I was, that he owned 30 guns in his garage, and he was sleeping with them loaded, and I thought something terrible was going to happen. He would be waking up in a nightmare, and I begged and pleaded for help to make sure he doesn't hurt himself or like his wife. He was threatening his wife with the guns, and they wouldn't go in and do anything about it. I went in and took all the guns away.
Nothing they could do.
It's
like Mateen, because he was on the FBI's radar years ago, but until like he commits a crime, there wasn't anything the FBI could do.
So what do you like? It's like, so what do you do? It's like that Washington thing. It was Washington, right? That it seems like a good idea, but it also Well, I guess it's a good idea.
From-
It worries me that it could be
From
abused.
what?
Well,
From what?
yeah,
The abuse of it would be something to worry about.
That
Well, see,
is-
that's
that
the
was
thing.
what I
Due
was
process is involved. You do have the court system involved. It's not just arbitrary, you know. So your due process rights are protected under this Washington bill.
So maybe it's a good thing.
It could be. It has the potential to be. I'd have to read it, or
I can give you a link to the PDF.
that would Skype that to me, and I'll happily take a look at it. That does sound like something that has potential. But again, it also has potential for like abuse and things of that nature. But like you said, it sounds like you said, it's a due process kind of deal. So maybe, I mean, that could be sort of the way to go. That was something I hadn't thought of.
It just seems like with guns, it's all or nothing with people. There's no
Yeah.
happy medium.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly the thing. Is going back to where I stand. It's like it's up to Congress to decide what kinds of weapons should be legal, what kinds of weapons should not be legal. But they should actually work across the aisle and do what's called governing instead of the 15-hour filibuster that the Democrats pulled. I mean, that it should not be decided because of the filibuster. Whatever they decide, it should be a compromise. But we live in this polarized nation where compromise is not fucking possible. It's just it's absurd. The fucking clown show that is American politics.
Yeah, which is like I said earlier. That's why I'm sitting back and watching.
Right.
With the flames in his eyes. Let it burn. Let it burn.
And a half erect penis. Fucking printed out picture of Steve Shiv's face with the eyes and mouth cut out. Then after he's done making love to it, he smears poop on it. Then rubs a picture of Steve Shives on his chest.
Somebody
That's
needs
all-
to make this.
Yeah. That's on you, buddy. I'm not taking your sloppy seconds.
This is so foul. It's amazing. It's awesome.
Everybody's fucking punching bag.
This is the most intellectual conversation I've ever had.
Right?
It is.
My brain is tickled.
Well, but in fairness, if you listen to him talk, if you watched his videos, come on.
My brain is stimulated.
He went completely off the deep end. And that's what I'm worried about you, Robert Wallace. Don't go full Steve Shives. Please don't do
Oh no, I try to keep it at least somewhat rational.
that.
Well, you can't. Robert Wallace is actually here talking about it. Well, if he was
Yeah,
like going
that's
full
true.
Steve Shives, he would have put a post that just said, if you want to say anything that's pro-gun or anti-Islam apologist, I don't want to hear it. I don't want
You see, the problem I have with that is these guys make such a bad name for social justice, you know? They make it look so bad.
Well, yeah. So do the things they want. It's not just the people. It's
Well,
the things
that's-
they want.
Well, yeah, it's because most of them, I mean, I think Shives included, ultimately, they don't give a shit about equality. I really don't believe that they actually care at all. Their non-issues are exactly that. The real ones they ignore. And it's about patting themselves on the back and looking good. And, hey, everybody, I'm not racist. Look at me. I'm defending Islam. Islam has nothing to do with Islam. They're brown. I'm white. See? I'm defending brown people. Love me.
I mean, I oppose what's called today as social justice. I oppose
Yeah.
what's called today feminism. And that's largely because I'm pro-internet. And a lot of the things that social justice and social justice warriors and third wave intersectional feminists want is like the internet to be cordoned off into these safe spaces where you can go and feel safe, and safe from opposing ideas even. And the internet—that's not what the internet is supposed to be. The internet is supposed to be varied and diverse. It's not supposed to be one idea, one voice, and that largely is why I oppose what's called today as feminism and social justice, because
Yeah, it's
it's
an exchange
neither.
of ideas.
It's neither of those things.
Oh, it's a joke. It's an utter and absolute joke. Today. Hell, fuck, 5-6 years ago. Hell, I probably would like feminism. Like, yeah, all right, I'm cool with that. That's just like equality, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's treated equal. Yeah, I'm all for that. Good. It's based on merits, not gender. Great. But now it's not. It's not any of that. It's all about gender. All about that. And their safe space consists of, oh, white people are horrible.
Yeah, the more
that's not
layers
racist.
you peel away from this onion, the worse it smells. I think that's the most poignant analogy I've ever used. No, I guess it'd be a metaphor. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that thing about the onion is good. I like that. That's the same idea. I'd go with that.
But that's, I mean, like, I keep forgetting what live show I'm doing.
Yeah, we haven't made a dick joke in a couple minutes.
No, I mean, like,
Someone say the word dick. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
I was about to start talking about something that I mentioned early in a previous live show I did last week. And like I said, this is that. It's like, wait, I didn't say that yet in this show. It's because like I've only been awake basically for as long as the show's been on. So, and now I completely forgot what I was going to say anyway, so it doesn't matter. Continue.
Yeah. Hey, you're the host, man. Guide us. We need your guidance.
Guidance. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Where are we going with this?
Actually, something that Skepo said. You were talking about the guy with the 30 guns. He was suicidal and everything.
Yeah, my brother.
Oh, your brother. There's something. I was listening to a thing last night. I think it was on Fox News where they had two of these guys, and they were talking about distribution of these weapons and how, like, on the internet you can buy weapons, with no background checks or whatever. You can go to gun shows, you can buy them, right off the dealer and everything. I would think distribution would probably be a thing to talk about too, along with this gun issue too, like distribution to somebody that they're like with no background checks. I think the internet, buying guns on the internet and at gun shows also needs to be looked at too.
On the internet is a stupid idea because you can be anything you want on the internet.
Well, the thing with buying guns on the internet is that I think buying guns on the internet should probably be looked at more. If I want to buy a gun, I want to meet the dealer face to face. You never know who you're going to buy those guns from, whether they be used for terrorism or something like that.
Robert Wallace, what do you think about this one?
Well, that is why in Washington State we got tired of watching the federal government do nothing, and we have already implemented universal background checks on every gun sale, private and public.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Even on the internet.
You cannot buy a gun in Washington State without going through a background check. And so far it stopped. Last time I checked, about at least 50 people have been kept from buying guns, people who had histories of domestic violence and whatnot.
But what about the internet and gun shows, though?
Well, as I said, you cannot buy a gun in Washington State without a background check.
What about nationwide?
Okay, so it's universal. It's a universal thing, right?
Why,
Right.
Why wouldn't you want people to have a background check to buy a gun?
Honestly.
I would think so.
I mean, great. You may think you're safe, but everyone else I don't know about. So why wouldn't you push background checks for gun ownership? I don't understand that mentality for people who are pro my guns, and I just don't understand that.
I personally would like to see a mandatory insurance like what we require for cars as well.
That's a really good idea.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, when it comes to like guns on the internet, the chat's kind of bringing this up, and it was making me think a little bit. Like my dad was into guns, and he bought a lot of them off the internet. And when he did, I mean, he had to have the FFL, and it was never shipped to him. He had to go to a dealer, and all of that to pick them up. Not super familiar with it, but that's just from what he would tell me when he would do it.
Yeah.
What about private sales, like from person to person?
That's where a lot of the problems come up.
Not dealers online, but like, say I'm trying to sell a gun online that I own. How does that work?
It doesn't.
That I have no idea.
That's where a lot of the problem is. I mean, I've never gotten guns from other people. I've always gotten them from reputable dealers and such. So I wouldn't know how that even happens.
Yeah, I don't own a gun. This is like I'm kind of I have no real stake in this other than just watching it. Not pro or anti. It ultimately doesn't matter to me other than the whole like kind of freedom aspect and why it's happening, and the fact that the guns are becoming like the main focus, to some the only focus, when there's many other avenues
Yeah.
that are being completely ignored, more often than not willfully.
Yeah, that's like a large part of the problem is the media.
Yeah.
That's probably the biggest problem with any of these mass shootings, is the media. They're not causing the shootings, but they're probably the biggest problem when it comes to them.
Fear mongering.
Yeah.
Yeah, and detracting from other issues and focusing on one.
Exactly.
And and how divisive it is depending on what side you're on, because some people are, the liberal media is like Live Life. I don't know if you guys like him or hate him or not. I don't
know the name, not super familiar with him.
He just put out a video, I guess late last night, about AJ Plus. You heard that name?
Heard it, no idea what it is.
From the looks of it, AJ Plus is an overweight Western Muslim woman or something.
Sana Saeed is her name, I think.
Okay, and she was going on and on about gun control and it's not Islam. It's not Islam. There's all these other things it could have been, so it must have been the guns.
Except it came out of his own mouth.
Yeah, and
yeah.
My thing is, even if he was a closeted homosexual and killed all these people because he hated himself for being gay, the question is, why does he hate himself for being gay when there's so many gay people in the country that do not hate themselves for being gay? Could it have anything to do with Islam?
Because the Quran is against homosexuality.
Let me explain this, okay? It is against homosexuality. 99% of Muslims in the world are against homosexuality in all shapes and forms. It is a kindness and a mercy to kill a gay person. It is with love that you wish them death. When I was an extreme Muslim and in a Kabi, I wished death on my brother for being gay.
Oh.
Not that I would do it, but that it would be a mercy and a kindness, because he wouldn't be sinning anymore and he wouldn't go to hell for eternity. I genuinely believed this shit. So if I'm capable of being brainwashed by being 10 years in this environment of extremism, right? If
Right.
you're born into that religion and that culture, there's no other way of thinking. There's
Right.
millions of Muslims stuck in those countries that don't want to be Muslim, but they can't say anything because they'll get killed.
Right.
But they so it's abhorrent. They think it's disgusting. They think that I swear to you, it is a kindness to kill them. So they're actually being loving in a really fucked up way. They're being loving.
That is fucked up.
If that makes a little bit more sense. They're not all evil. I just fucking hate fags, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to be hateful.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Some of them are, but not all. So when you've been brought up in such a violent culture and religion with lack of compassion and empathy and love and forgiveness, and it really is totalitarian. It's all or nothing. So you either accept the Quran is the infallible word of God, or you don't, and you're not a Muslim. And once you're a Muslim, you can't just like I risk my life, even living in California. My ex-brother-in-law lives very close to me. If he knew where I was, I would be dead right now. Like so, coming out as an ex-Muslim, you risk everything. So imagine being in a wholly Islamic country trying to come out. Those people like Habib and people that live in Islamic countries that come out, openly as an ex-Muslim, they're fucking brave. Oh my God, so brave. And it makes me so angry when people say it's nothing to do with Islam. and this guy just had the guns, or it's because he was a repressed homosexual. Like repressed homosexual or not, what taught him the hatred of gays? So yes, Muslims hate gays. Yes, they kind of, a lot of them think that death would be a kindness. They wouldn't go out and kill them themselves, obviously. You know, it takes a special kind of freak to do that. But
and then we also
that's where they're coming from.
Sit back and cheer them on, like, yeah, good job.
See, that's what I was saying. Like, I wouldn't have been sad if my brother had died. I would have mourned, like, how sad, you know, I missed him, but I would have been happy for him. Genuine. That's why those suicide bombers smile before they blow themselves up, because they believe that where they're going immediately with all those fucking virgins and flowing rivers of honey and milk, you know, but they're going straight to paradise because they're doing Allah's will.
Yeah.
It's just, but I totally get it. I was almost exactly. I apologized for terrorism. Well, it's the West. It's the Jews. My mother-in-law told my children that the Jews put stuff in our drinking water to control our minds in the West. We're all mind controlled.
Well, that's true.
So
I'm on a well. What's my excuse?
There is, you know, living in a country where there was no access to guns, people used bombs instead. But you didn't have, like, how many homicides was there over the weekend, Father's Day weekend in Chicago? Right? I mean, you didn't have those kinds of things, but they still, you have hundreds of people dying over the weekend in the UK from stabbings. If it's a handgun, it's going to be person on person, right, for the most part. There's not, like, 50 victims of a handgun.
Well,
right?
they do it right.
So it would be, I would think, like, banning the more automatic weapons. But somebody brought up a point, like, during the LA riots, shopkeepers and owners protected their stores with, was it semi-automatic? I don't know. So things like that would, I'm just a chick who doesn't know anything about guns except for I've used them, shot them occasionally. I used to have a Ruger 9mm with my ex. I can't own them anymore. But you know, I know how I feel as a mom, as an ex-Muslim, as an American citizen, as a British citizen. You know, it just, that's all. I'll shut up now.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
No, well, you actually have a knowledge on this. I think few of us here do, so it's very interesting to hear.
I mean, I've recently been reading up on Islam because it's something I've been meaning to do, but I never have. But you've actually lived a life, so anything, you know, you have to contribute on this subject would be more than I could lie about. So go for it.
Yeah, what you just said's probably going to stick with me. about how much of a joy, you know, the smiling before they blow themselves up. That's going to stick with me there.
You could make the same argument for Christianity, though. If you were really genuinely a diehard Christian and you really believed the second you died you were going to heaven, why wouldn't you want your children to die? Why would I want my children to suffer any pain at all? Why not just murder them at birth? You know? I mean, it's kind of like, so anyone's going to take doctrine books and extrapolate and make it. But the problem is with Christianity, you don't have an organized global jihad. And jihad, by the way, when people say jihad, they think it's violence only, and it's not. It's political jihad. It's insidious. It's slow, and you see what it's done to Europe.
Yeah.
And they want it to happen here. It's happening in Canada now. So people like, well, it's not jihad because they're not blowing people up. Well, yes, it is jihad, and I'm telling you, behind closed doors they say one thing. To kafir, they say something completely different. Their end goal is to take over the world because that's what the book says.
Exactly.
It means struggle, doesn't it?
Islam means submission. So you submit.
No, jihad.
Oh, jihad, yeah, struggle. Sure. There's inner and outer jihad. So it's like, so I say this and people tell me I'm wrong, and you know we have to look. All Muslims aren't bad, but
you're Islamophobic.
Right, I get called out all the time. And I'm like, of all people, I can talk.
Right.
You know, they're like, well, you just let the media paint a color of Islam, and that's why you have your hate. You hate Islam. I'm like, no, I have lived not only under Sharia, but I've lived in the West as a Muslim as well. So we had the FBI come to my house at 6 o'clock in the morning and raid us because we knew a guy that overstayed his visa and was on the watch list.
Okay.
My son is on the no-fly list because his name matches a terrorist. So
there's a way to fix that, or if there isn't one, I was just reading about this. If
Are they fixing it? Because for years I've been fighting them for
there's
that.
a form you can print out and you have to send it off to the FBI or something. Because I was just reading about the no-fly list yesterday, and
So frustrating.
I saw something about if it isn't in effect now, it's going to happen soon. Because there are a lot of people who are on the no-fly list because their name is the same as somebody who is being watched, or is close to the name of somebody who's being watched, so they can't use an airplane. And I remember why I was looking it up too, because I had heard that airlines actually are not obligated to follow the no-fly list, and I was trying to see if that was true or not, but I haven't found anything.
Well, we've been allowed to fly, even though he's on the no-fly list. But it's been after usually 3 or 4 hours of extra security, extra questioning, and it's up to the airline's discretion whether they let us go or not.
Yeah.
And the way we look, they always do. But it's like, if maybe I had brown skin and I wore hijab, they wouldn't, and I wouldn't be upset about that, to be honest.
I remember this was 2006, 2007 or so. A bunch of friends and I, we were coming back from Miami, and my buddy was wearing a hoodie that said CCCP, and it had the hammer and sickle on it, and he was pulled off to the side by the TSA, and they're like, he told me they were asking him questions like, the Soviet Union doesn't exist anymore, and where do your loyalties lie, and things like that. Yeah, for the Soviet fucking Union.
Wow.
Yeah.
In Canada, I was pulled aside. I was coming to America on holiday because I left the U.S. when I was a teenager. So I was born over there, raised here, left the U.S. as a teenager to go back. But I was coming here on holiday, and my suitcase was full of shalwar kameez and hijab. I wasn't in niqab then. And in Canada, they went through my luggage and asked me if my parents, I was like 25, if my parents knew that I was wearing hijab. It was the weirdest line of questioning. It wasn't about like whether I believed in Islam or not. It was about my choice of head covering.
Right.
They finally let me through, but they went through every single thing in my luggage and questioned me about it. Really weird.
So we're coming up to a quarter of here, and as much of a gun debate as this was supposed to be, it seems like all 5 of us kind of agree on it.
Which is funny because I'm a leftist.
I'm sorry?
Which is funny because I am a leftist guy.
So am I. I'm a leftist as well, but there's a lot of things that on the conservative side, especially nowadays, that I agree with.
Yep.
I don't think I'm moving any further to the right. I think there's just more ground to the left of me being discovered. It's strange. But we are coming up to a quarter of, and like I said, we all seem to be in agreement on at least the 5 of us here. I'm sure there's some people in the chat that might be going crazy, but I don't know.
I was half reading it. There seemed like a little bit, not real sure.
But
very half-assedly reading it.
Like I said, we're coming up towards the end of the show here, so what we're going to do now, we're going to do something new. We used to do the Shitlord Showdown at the end of every show, under much protest from Hazenberg because he would always lose. So what we're going to do...
You asking obscure bullshit, yes.
Yeah, okay. I can't help that. I know a lot of fucking obscure bullshit. So
do I, just not the same obscure bullshit you know.
So what we're going to do now, our 3 guests, Skepo, Spikey, and Robert Wallace, you are now going to try to guess what's in my box. So what's going to happen is I'm going to imagine a box, and I don't know what's in the box. Hazenberg knows what's in the box.
Do I?
Yes. How many fucking production meetings did we have before the show? We sat and we talked for hours about the Guess What's in My Box segment, and you were fucking supposed to insert something into my box, and you would know what it is.
Was I?
I'm fucking timestamping that. I'm putting it up for all of eternity, forever and ever and ever.
And then what happens is the panelists on the show at the end of the show try to guess what object you inserted into my box.
Butt plug.
All right. So you didn't put anything in my box?
I might have put something in your box. I just don't remember.
Put something in my box right now.
Well, I don't know if I want to put something in your box.
You have to.
I don't know.
Put it in my box.
Okay. Oh my God. I want to do this. All right. Something's in your box.
All right. So we'll start with Spiky. What's in my box?
A gun.
A gun. He thinks there's a gun in my box. Skeppo.
A rabbit.
A rabbit. She thinks there's a rabbit in my box, everyone. How about Robert Wallace?
A baby's arm holding an apple.
A baby's arm holding an apple in my box. Any of them right, Hazenberg?
They're close.
Oh,
Close.
what's in my box?
A baby's arm holding a gerbil.
A gerbil. Okay. I guess the closest guess would have been Robert Wallace. So we're gonna send you 25,000 Aldus Valor fund dollars. Congratulations.
Oh yeah, I can retire now.
Yeah, you can spend those at any AV club location. So congratulations on that. What did we learn on the show today, folks?
So, hey, Robert. Can you
Yes.
have some money? Hey, baby. You're looking really hot right now.
I've learned that Skeppo likes large penises and money.
Large penises and large wallets. Yeah.
Yes.
I learned what kind of underwear Heisenberg wears.
Heisenberg. Don't
Yeah.
confuse him with Jeff Heisenberg.
Yeah, fuck you, dude. Fuck you. Do not compare me to that retard.
And they look very comfy, and I'm gonna try and find some.
Yeah, Equipo.
Will do.
Skeppo, what'd you learn on the show today?
Wait, what?
What did you learn on the show today?
I learned that you're all assholes,
Yes.
and I do like you all, and
Oh, I love you too.
All right.
guns are okay.
All right, Skeppo. I got $20 and 4 inches with your name on it.
It's harassment.
It's Aldous' channel. I don't care.
It's fucking patriarchy, man.
Oh Christ, that was good. Yeah, if it's not 10 inches at least, it's sexual harassment.
That's right.
Well, I'll tell you what, Skeppo, I'll stick it in twice and hit you with a brick. How's that sound?
Why am I laughing at that?
That's why I like playing craps, because the sexual innuendo in there is so great. I can't give you a hard 10, but I can give you a no-field 5. 10, hard 10, ladies' best friend.
Do you know how many feminists just died right now because I laughed at that?
Fuck them.
I thought the sun was a little brighter.
Robert Wallace, what did you learn on the show today?
Apparently, gun control isn't as controversial as I thought it was.
I bet you thought you were coming in here to a fight, weren't you?
I thought I was gonna be the pivot man and a circle jerker. No, wait.
Who the fuck was I explaining what the pivot man was to?
Okay, it's finally somebody else.
I was trying to, because I was making that joke, and they're like, I don't get it. And I'm like, well, here's... Oh, I remember now. It was at my buddy's wedding. That's Anyway, what I learned on the show today was that Hazenberg's penis tilts to the left. Baby's arm holding a gerbil.
That was very, very creative.
I'm surprised nobody asked me how big my box was. because I had something prepared for that.
How big was your box?
It's as big as it needs to be to fit the object that Hazenbergs inserts into it.
Makes sense.
Because it'll stretch a mile before it tears an inch.
Nice.
Well, unless anybody else has anything to add, I think we're going to call it a day here. This was a fun one. I want to thank my guests today, Spiky, Skeppo, and Robert Wallace, and as always, my co-host Hazenberg. I also want to thank everybody who was in the chat, even though I ignored you the entire time.
Yeah, that's why I'm here, to pretend I'm reading you motherfuckers.
So thanks for coming out, everybody. We'll see you on the next one.